Okay, welcome my friends. I wanted to do something a little bit different. I haven't said this before, but I am a student at BYU Idaho. And I had a particularly fun time this past semester with programming. I'm sure I've brought that up before. What I'm going to do now is I've decided I'm going to start a bit of a type of a series, I suppose, where I'm going to kind of go through some of the checkpoints. My hope is that I'm not just giving away the answers or any of the solutions or things like that, but hopefully I can kind of help understand what some of this does. In past semesters, I had a really hard time programming. It was really hard for me to understand. It took a lot of time. It was a struggle, and I really actually had this really like hate relationship with programming, which sucks because going into electrical engineering, that's part of what we do. And so this semester, this past couple semesters, like 2 semesters ago, I had a programming class which was in Python, and I really loved it, and I excelled in that class. I did a great job. I mean, not here to toot my own horn, but that's what happened. I loved it. So hopefully here I can help some understand maybe some foundations to Python, because once you get the basic foundations, these checkpoints and these assignments get just a little bit easier, because Python kind of becomes a second language for you, and you just understand it better. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through week one. Week one's pretty simple. I doubt you're going to need any help, but this will hopefully just be a little quick video. It won't take too long. Be able to get you through quickly. If for some reason you do need help, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you're terrible at this. You're a terrible person. It's not true. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. So hopefully throughout these videos I can kind of help throughout the semester in ways that I did certain things. Hopefully kind of explain things to you. So hopefully you can get like an understanding of the basic and not just grabbing solutions from me, but you can understand some things. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be using Sublime Text, and I'm going to be using Windows PowerShell. You don't have to do it this way unless you really want to, but if you do want to use Sublime Text and Windows PowerShell or some other text editor and PowerShell, you're going to need to download Python on your computer, which you can Google how to do that, and if you just Google Python 3, you should be able to find a download for it, and put it on your computer so you can run it here. If you are a student at BYU I like I was, you'll have access to the Linux lab. I used MOBA Xterm. Some people use PuTTY. Other people, like Apple users, use their terminal window, which is I did for a very long time because I had an Apple for a while. You can use any of those. And within the system of the Linux lab, you have something called Emacs, which you can use as a text editor. It's built into the Linux lab that you're going to remotely sign into. But I'm doing it here because I don't have access to Linux lab anymore because I'm not part of that class. But either way, it doesn't matter how you do it. You can also just do it in Sublime Text and copy it over into it. It's fine. Either way, we're going to get started with checkpoint 1. The very first one you're going to do, and more than likely your professor is going to show you how to do it. He's blatantly just going to show you, so you're probably not going to need help with this, but I will also show you checkpoint B, which also he might show you how to do. I can't remember if mine did or not, but they're both fairly simple, and I'll just show you how to do them. Checkpoint 1 is going to take about 10 seconds to type. So checkpoint 1, simple as it is, you just want to print out hello world. Here I have one of the professors here that took the course, that taught the course, and basically what you're doing here, you write a Python 3 program to ask the user how old they are. Displays that information back. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the wrong one. Sorry. That's number 2. We don't want that one. We want this one. This is A. Sorry. Write a Python 3 program that displays the text. Hello Python world. So that's all you're gonna do. Simply put enough to put something out on the screen. You type out print. And be aware that if you do this the way that I'm doing it, if you don't save it as a PY file first, you won't get any colors or anything until you save it as a PY file, as a Python file. But anyway, go ahead and save it as a Python file, and you just say print hello Python world. You can put an exclamation mark if you want that to seem cool. Alright, so you come up here, you click Save. This is where you open up your Windows PowerShell. Now you can see I went into my documents and stuff. So you're going to have to get this. When you open it, it's just going to say users and like the username. Like I just have it as Lenovo, but if it's your name or whatever, it's going to be there. I type in CD. CD is change directory, so you would type that in, then type in documents, school 2020. So if I wanted to go back one, I'm in my assignments folder for my class. I type in ls. This is all the stuff I have. If I wanted to go back, I type in cd ... That'll get me to go backwards. If I hit ls again, it'll show me where I am. So instead of being in my assignments folder, which is right here, I'm in my 2020 Spring CS 241. And so we go back into assignments. Back in there, we have all of the stuff here. This is everything I've done over the semester. We're going to use check01a. So we're going to type in Python check01a.py. And when you hit enter, it should just display Hello Python World. So that's the extent of that assignment. See how easy it was. You may need to change your capitalization and stuff. You may need to capitalize the P or capitalize the W and stuff depending on how the computer wants you to do it when Linux Lab grades it for you, so you may have to change some stuff. But essentially that's the end of it. The next one was the one I was trying to read a minute ago. This is checkpoint B for week 1. And it says write a Python 3 program that asks the user how old they are, displays the information back, and then informs how old they will be on their next birthday. Let's get over there. On their next birthday. So, we need to write a program that'll ask us what our name is, how old we are, and then reprint that, and then tell us how old we'll be next birthday. So it's not super hard. I mean, it's going to say, like, what's your name? Eli. And then it's going to say, how old are you? And you'll put, like, 22, 23, 25, 18, and then it'll say, hello Eli, you are 18 or 20, and next birthday you will be the next number. So it's not super difficult to imagine in your brain how this would work. Here's the way I did it. There's multiple ways you can do it. I'll try to talk about some of them, but essentially the way you receive input from a user is you type in input and put a parenthesis, and then you have to create a variable. I almost forgot the variable. I would call this variable name, and then I would say input, what is your name? And so there you go. You now have your name variable, and it's going to ask you for it. And then I'm going to make another one called age, and I'll say int input what is your age? So now since I'm doing it as an integer and I'm going to be adding them together later, I don't want it. This is doing it as a character array. It's taking an input as a characters for your name, like letters. It's taking those in. When I put int here, I'm describing to the machine that I want it to receive input as an integer, as a number, instead of just characters or letters. I want it to be able to receive a number. And this is very important for the next step. You must, if you're going to do it the way that I'm about to do it, then you have to do it as as an integer. Because the next one I'm going to create another variable, and I'm going to say something like next year equals age plus 1. So there's that. So now you have something called next year, and that's what you're going to be next year. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to do print, like we did last time. Print, print hello name. Oh, I'm sorry, no, not like that. Sorry. Hello like that. There we go. Hello. This is something that you can put in to say that I want a variable to go there. We're going to specify what that variable is later, but for right now that's what it's telling us, is that there's going to be a variable there. So hold that spot. So we're going to do hello, you are age. We're going to say like badoop, you are that years old. Perfect. Like that. So then here at the end, inside the parenthesis, you're going to put a dot, format. This is one of the ways to do it. I know there's more than one way to do this part as well. And this is where you're going to tell it what variables you want here, and they go in order of what you see here. So this is the first variable, and you want your name to go there, so you're going to use that variable name. Okay, so I'm just going to copy paste it because I'm lazy. So name, and you put a comma to say that that's the end of the variable. It's right there, name, and then you put your second variable, the one that's going to go in this place right here, and that's age. So name, age. Okay, then you come down again, and I'd say print next year you will be, and just like that, to hold that place. Hit dot format. Let me put a period here just for aesthetically pleasing reasons. And then you say next year. Next year. So there you go. That looks like the end of it. I think I did everything correctly. Yeah, that looks right. So yeah, it's saying hello, name, you are age years old. Next year you will be that many years old. So that's the end of that. You just come up here, you click save. Yep, that looks like it's it. So then you can come back here and you can do the next one. You say Python check01b, and it should ask you what your name is. You type it in, 23, and then it says, hello, you're 23 years old. Next year you will be 24. So it's not super hard. That's simply what it does. Hopefully that kind of made sense. This is just the first video. I kind of wanted to make it. I want to see how it turns out and then post it maybe and move on from there. And hopefully from here on out I can go back and answer questions that anybody has, or I can go back and change things. But yeah, from here on out, move on and show you the rest of the weeks that come along with it to this class. And like I said, I don't hope not to give you straightly just hand you the answers on a silver platter. I want to kind of show you the thought process so that when it becomes time for you to do these things on your own, you're not relying on other people to do your work for you, that you can do it on your own. But always remember that receiving help is not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're stupid. That receiving help is good. I've had to receive help on this class, particularly in this class, a bunch of times, but I understood this class really well and I got a good grasp of it. So I'm hoping to share some of that knowledge with other people who are also struggling like I did a couple of times. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you. If you want to add in, like for aesthetically pleasing reasons, you can add in spaces. I'll throw that in here real quick since we are just sitting here. And I would just be like a print, like that. And then I would put one down here as well. And then, oops. Okay, like that. And then I'd probably put another one at the end too, print. So that way when you run it again, there's enough spacing to be able to like see it well. And so it's going to ask you your name. And there you go. And so it spaces it out a little bit more, makes it easier to read. But you will always have to look out for what testbed wants you to do, because that is something that at BYU I, if you're taking this class, then you will always run through testbed, and it has specific things that it wants you to do. But either way, you can adjust that when the time comes for that. Anyway, I hope you guys at least enjoyed watching this a little bit, gave you a little bit of help. Reach out with any questions you have. I will try my best to check up on this regularly and look for those. Anyway, until next time, I will see you guys. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.